Yep, yeah. But that kind of leads to a different question though about gaming in general. But what was the first game that got you hooked into gaming overall?
I want to hear what Tanetta got to say because Tanetta is the
Oh
resident
yeah.
super gaming expert of the
Oh
panel. So
my
Mm-hmm.
gosh. So
yeah.
what got me into gaming was definitely Mario because it was so challenging and Nintendo 64 was my first console. But then what really stuck to me in gaming was definitely fighting games and shooters because when I was little, my mom always used to take me to the laundromat, do laundry, but I will see like a whole series of
Mm,
games. And it's like I didn't know what I was doing. I was just button mashing on the screen, even though it said press start. But that's what sparked my little love for video games. And then I got a little bit older. I saw my dad playing video games, and he's like, "You want to try?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And then it was just history from then on. Just started playing a lot of games. I focused the most on Tekken though because I've been playing for so long, but I do love my own series of games. Like I like Kingdom Hearts. I like playing Dragon Ball Z series growing up. I like playing the Simpsons series, some GTA.
Oh, okay.
okay, okay. That was up.
Mm-hmm.
Who next?
I'm gonna go with. I mean, I think the first console I ever had was I was a military brat, so I was my mom and dad used to get me a lot of stuff, so I was a little spoiled. Me and my sister. So we got every console that came
It's
out.
spoilers out here.
I know, man. I'm
Spoilers.
sorry. I'm sorry. You know. I'm sure I might be sitting in a strength office sometime later in life. Anywho, so I started off with Nintendo like everybody else did. Never beat Mario 1 because that stupid castle.
Me either.
Um,
Never did to this day.
Mario's
never
so
did.
difficult. It's
Thank you,
fun.
G.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for agreeing with me because I was like, man, forget this. But I think the one game that I was just like, I got to have every time, and I got to play every time. Um, it was what really it was Siphon Filter on PlayStation. Siphon
Ooh.
Filter on
Okay.
PlayStation. It was a spy game. I like the mechanics of if you're in a dark area, you can kind of like stand back and blend in, and the guard can walk by and you grab them. You know what? Correction. There was a game before that, GoldenEye on 64.
Oh
Oh
yeah, I remember
man,
GoldenEye. That's a
classic,
classic.
GoldenEye on 64 got me on gaming,
classic.
got me on shooters, and but I always was just like spill the tea down there. I say down there because on my screen she's like right below me.
Yeah.
Shooters and fighting games, and I want to say Street Fighter, of course.
Oh
Street
yeah.
Fighter got me. Yeah, Street Fighter got me. But Street Fighter is just so one dimensional. You can get in the corner and just block, block, block. But what I will say is before Tekken, because I love Tekken too. But I remember tons of nights me and my cousins spending the night. Remember sleepovers? Y'all remember those?
Mm,
Oh, I remember sleepovers. I remember when I was 6 years old, my parents, they were actually okay with me sleeping over at my friend's house. And it's just me and a whole bunch of first grade girls I was close friends with. But we were just playing video games and chilling. But they were okay with it because we're all in the same apartment complex and everybody just watched over each other's kids and stuff at the time. So
Yeah, that's
you can't do
before
that
me
now.
and
and
yeah,
do
that's
that
what
Can't
I'm
do
now.
saying.
that now.
This is
That's
They
before
different.
people were
changed.
weird.
They
That's before people got
changed.
Yeah.
weird. So sleepovers,
Mm-hmm.
my cousins come over, and I'm talking about man, we got gaming sessions. I mean that Nintendo and that Sega Genesis is rocking hot because we playing Street Fighter and people, we 2, 3 o'clock in the morning and we ain't getting no sleep. So I guess my game of choice that got me hooked was I would say GoldenEye, then transfer to Street Fighter, and I throw Siphon Filter in.
Okay.
Nice. You ever
What
play
about you,
Splinter
Brandon?
Cell?
Hold on,
You
what?
said
Um,
what?
Say
Splinter
Splinter?
Cell.
Of
I played a bit.
Yes,
course.
I did. I'm sorry. We'll table that for later. Go ahead, Brandon. My
Okay.
bad.
I was just I remember me and my brother would play Star Fox all night
Mm,
on
Mm.
Nintendo 64, and then we would go over our friend Ricky Brown house, Chris, and
Shout out to Ricky.
we would play uh what was the car Mario game
Mario Kart.
Mario
Mario
Kart?
Kart.
Mario Kart. We would play Mario Kart all night, and those are the games. Also, my uncle had like the Nintendo pad, like the little
oh
pad that you
man.
played on when we was kids. You
Yeah.
remember that, Chris?
Dude.
We used
The
to
track and
play
field game.
Yeah, we used to play the track and field game, and we used to play Mike Tyson Punch Out all night too.
Okay.
That's my
I
stuff.
was
That's
just-
my stuff right there.
Okay.
My video game career. I never forget. This was like in the early '90s, and around the time Super Nintendo came out. But mom's ain't. I won't spoil like Torres was. Mom's like, I'm not paying that much for no gaming system. So what happened? I told her I wanted a Super Nintendo, and she got me a regular Nintendo. Right? She got me Mike Tyson Punch Out. She got
Okay.
me Mario Brothers, and Duck Hunt. It came with Duck Hunt or whatever.
Yeah.
And it won a Super Nintendo, man. But when I tell you I loved it just the same, like that was my introduction to having my own gaming system, and I loved it. But I tell you, that's where it started. But I tell you where everything started to change when Nintendo 64 came out. Let me tell you why, like that was so big to me. I never forget. I was in KB Toys. That's how you know how old this was. I was in KB Toys, right? You know how they have the little game set up so you can play it in the store, you can sample it. I played Mario 64. And when I tell you, it blew my mind. The graphics, when it wasn't even just the graphics, it was the fact that you could go in any direction. You could not do that before. Everything else, if you think about Sega Genesis, Super Nintendo, Nintendo Entertainment System, all of those consoles, the only thing you could do is go forward. It was all two-dimensional. You know what I'm saying? Street Fighter two-dimensional, Mortal Kombat. It was still two-dimensional. It made it a little bit more realistic because it used motion capture. I think that was one of the first times they really did that in video games. So Mortal Kombat was a little bit more realistic, but it's still just side to side, right? Come Nintendo 64, you could go up, down, left, right. I was just sitting there like, oh my God, this is it blew my young mind. And then from then it's just been a wrap.
Okay. Okay.
I would say the Dreamcast was a game changer too. Like that was still my favorite system. Like the Dreamcast. Yeah, Dreamcast was dope to me.
Dreamcast was before its time, man. Soul Calibur, Crazy Taxi.
Oh yeah.
Like if Dreamcast would have came out like not when PlayStation came out, and then you had a Nintendo Cube, I think, and maybe let PlayStation have its little run for about 2-3 years, and then it come out. It was phenomenal, man. It was I don't know why it died out. I guess just the popular PlayStation was just popular.
Both my parents said that they had an Atari when they were kids. I'm like, you know how it's valuable that would be. You still had that.
Heck yeah. People
love
pay
nostalgia.
That's back for that.
Mhm.
I think for me, what kind of got me into gaming, because I played the Duck Hunts and the Marios and the Contras, but I think it was Final Fantasy 3 for the Super Nintendo that got me hooked on gaming. I like stories, so and I read a lot of like fantasy novels back then, whatever. So that game right there just opened my young eyes to the world of like RPGs. So ever since then, I've been on a hunt for a good RPG. So coming from there to like now when I'm playing like Cyberpunk 2077, I'm all about RPGs. This give me a good story, some dope dialogue options, some choices that really affect the game, and I'm a sucker for it. So that's my game right there.
Nice.
I didn't have the patience for RPGs. Like I despise going into a game and I gotta read 50% of the time. Like that's how I was like,
I love that stuff,
why
man.
do I have to make choices? Who do I kill? Where's my weapons? But I do understand now that
Violent
like,
motherfucker.
yeah, like Cyberpunk is something I want to get into because it just looks phenomenal. I look at little game videos of it, but like the Final Fantasies, I recognize there's a great niche for it and everybody love it. I just never got into it, man. I think it was the actual I hit you, you hit me thing, and I'm like
Yeah.
the HP points and stuff like that, and I was like, man.
Because really what it is, it's Dungeons and Dragons. It's the same thing. Remember the old Dungeons and Dragons game? Like I never actually played it, but I'm aware of what it is. It's like you're not actually fighting. Like it's a board game. You gotta like roll a dice, and depending on what number you get, then it's an action that corresponds to that. RPGs, especially early RPGs, is pretty much just that. So let me tell you about Final Fantasy too, because this is why I hate Final Fantasy to this day. Even though I can't front, I like Sephiroth though. Sephiroth was my dude, right? Just because he had a cool sword. But I hate it because they sold it when you see the preview as this game. It got dope graphics. It's an adventure game, and you just fighting people, and it looks amazing, and all of this type of stuff. When you get to playing it, the cutaway scenes are dope. But the stuff in between and the fights, and like you said, Torrance, all the reading, I was like, But let me tell you why I like Sephiroth though. It was a game that had it had an adventure mode, but it had a fighting game too, and it had the people from Final Fantasy in it. Do y'all remember what that was?
It was
Is
for
it
the
a CD?
It was for
yeah,
PlayStation.
on a
What'd you
on
say?
the on the on the PSP, right?
Oh, I
No,
don't
this
know
is
the
like
city.
PlayStation 1. PlayStation 1 or PlayStation 2. This was back in the day.
I'm not sure then.
Yeah, but side note, I always like games that I feel like give me more bang for my buck. Like if it was a fighting game that had an adventure mode or an adventure game that had a fighting mode, I always thought it was dope.
Right.
Okay. What about hold on. Do y'all remember when Mortal Kombat tried that? They had like a Jax game. It was like a,
Yeah, I
a
remember
3D. Yo, some of the most horrible. Uh, I don't know what they was thinking, but it took them a while for them to get back to where, like, like now that's in the Mortal Kombat, what, 10, 11, whatever, is in the in the evos now and the fighting tournaments and things like that. So much like Tekken, like I saw I think it was like a mini documentary about like the top players in the world. And
Yeah, like me, Lil Majin.
Wait. Did you say
R2.
Did you say you? You say you want to
Yeah.
talk?
No, I didn't say me. I said knee. Knee's
Oh, I
like
said me. I was like, okay, so
second
now
player.
talk.
I don't,
You know
I
what I'm
don't think I
saying?
want to play her no more. She top
You know what I'm
Tekken.
saying?
No, I'm not
Talking about-
tall. If that was me, then I would. Yeah.
yeah,
Maybe one day when I do compete.
and we will be there. We will be your cheerleaders from the sidelines. So I'm down for it. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Let's
I
go.
do.
Nah. Okay,
Okay, so I did hear supposedly they brought back the Bloody Roar trademark. I used to play Bloody Roar when I was a kid. So if they bring that back, I am competing.
Oh
Yo,
my
was it?
goodness! I don't know why they took so long for Bloody Roar. Like, so who is your favorite? So do y'all know about Bloody Roar? Y'all played that
Wasn't
before?
Bloody War the one that
Okay,
had the
Bloody Roar is
dude?
pretty much
He had like
like
the tiger
animals and
head or
Tekken
something.
had a baby, okay? It's just animals
Yeah, I remember that.
doing combos.
Trying to be Mortal Kombat. That's that. In the '90s when it came out, it was everybody was trying to be the next Mortal Kombat. You know
It
what
was
I'm
because
saying?
Mortal Kombat
So
was
let's
just
have a lot of
it was so
blood.
serious.
Yeah, like how can
Yeah.
we get our own version of it? That's what Bloody
But what I
Roar.
would say was different with Bloody Roar was that you could fight as a human and you could still beat somebody if they was in their beast form. But
Mm-hmm.
I will say this: it introduced juggling. Do you remember that? Like it
Oh man,
introduced if you hit
Yep,
somebody up,
yeah.
you
yep,
can kind of like
juggling.
hit. I don't remember a lot of games doing the juggling combos back then.
Yeah, Tekken didn't do that till like later, maybe like
Yeah, about Tekken 4, Tekken 3 or something. Maybe Tekken 4 or something, I think.
yeah.
So yeah, Bloody Roar. My person was Sheena, the what was she, a lion? She was
She
Gato's
was like a
mute.
cheetah. Was
Yeah,
he?
cheetah.
Was he like a cheetah?
But I did like Gato. That 3-kick
The
combo.
lion?
You
Oh
you out of here,
yeah.
yeah. You out of here. Out of here.
Oh sorry,
I'm
well I'm a huge gaming fan. Like
no. Listen, I ain't played Tekken in years, but when I saw like the new characters come out, I saw like an old black dude with like
Oh,
white
Leroy?
cornrows, and
Yeah, Leroy. Oh
he
my
looked dope.
he
His name is
changed the
Leroy?
scene.
Oh,
Like you don't know
Leroy.
how important Leroy is now. Okay. He's
Very
like one.
important.
The thing is, he was automatically placed as the strongest character in the game as soon as he came out. Like so many people complain about him and have many problems with him. They had to try and find ways to nerf this man. And the thing is, in the Evo, right? Like the top players picked Leroy. He made top 8, and it's like the thing is the only characters that had a chance against Leroy was a Julia player and Kazumi, but Leroy was just at top. Like even like the most known well-known Tekken player, he even said Leroy was a problem. He's just like, yo, you do not sleep on this character. He changed the scene in a way, and especially as a character, he's
This
that.
is why.
He
This is
black.
why I think Leroy was good for the culture of fighting games because when you think about black fighters in fighting games, you had Balrog, which is the boxer in Street Fighter.
And Jay.
Mike Tyson, pretty much Mike
You had
Tyson.
Dalcine, but he's a Mike
Indian.
Tyson.
He was
But he
Indian.
was
Indian.
Indian. He was
Yeah.
Indian, so he wasn't like
Right.
African American
He
black.
was
you
a
know what I'm
person
saying?
of
So
color, but he wasn't. He
he was a
wasn't.
Leroy
Thank you, Chris.
changed
Thank you.
everything. Like,
So then we had so in Tekken we had Raven, then we had Master Raven.
Master Raven, yep.
Okay, I don't. Is there? I'm thinking now. I don't think there's any other black person. Oh, Eddie. We don't count Eddie because Eddie sucks.
Oh
Eddie
yeah.
sucks.
Yeah.
But
I hate
yeah,
Eddie. I
it's
You
hate
say
like,
to play
Jack?
with Eddie.
Did you say Jax already?
from Mortal
Uh-uh.
Kombat.
Not
Okay,
Jax.
okay, Jax.
Jax.
Okay, but who really picked Jax for real though?
Right. But I'm
Hey,
saying
And
this
when I'm saying he
man,
changed the culture, this man Leroy, because
he's
he was
black,
so
he's
swagged
black.
out. Like he was so swagged out. His backstory is he was like kidnapped from the Yakuza or something, and then he learned their ways and he comes back. Like when you see him, he's well dressed. He got some luxury
Mhm.
sneakers on. But then he
Yo,
has but when he takes his shirt off, he's tatted up like a Yakuza. Like he's missing the eye, like his eye's been damaged. You know what I'm saying? He got the locks. T-Pain had dressed up
yeah,
as
T-Pain.
Leroy.
I
I
was
was gonna
about
bring
to
that up.
say
T-Pain
that.
dressed
Okay.
him up.
His
He dressed up
cosplay
as
for
him.
him was
And
dope.
it made people wanna use Leroy. I ain't gonna lie. I used Leroy and I was just trying to figure out what the fuss was about, and I can understand why.
Hold
No,
on, wait,
Leroy's literally
hold
like
on,
possibly the
wait,
best
wait.
character in the game.
Wait
Yeah.
a minute. I was aware of the character, but I didn't know his name was Leroy. That is the blackest name.
Exactly, right? Like exactly.
That's black.
Leroy.
Right.
Leroy, and guess what else he has? He has a little pit bull puppy.
Yeah, he has a dog named Sugar.
Okay.
Like he can
That's
use
it.
Sugar in the game. It's so cute. He'd be like,
That's
"Go,
it.
He has a
if
pimp
you're not
cane and
aware,
all of
Sugar
that.
can run
He
you
uses the
over."
cane. Like he like, and I was just thinking before he came out, I was like, listen, I wish they putting out all these characters like Negan. I didn't think Negan belonged in Tekken because he should have been
Oh
more
no,
on Mortal
that was just a
Kombat.
money grab. That was a
That was
quick
a
money grab.
You know, he's well designed. He looks good. He looks just like Negan. But
Oh, I seen him before.
yeah, and I was thinking, I said, man, I wonder has a game ever tried to put Dragonfly Jones or my boy what's Shogun?
Shogun?
I said, I wonder why has
man.
nobody put Shogun
Okay.
in the game, like in a game, like you know, but then they got Leroy, and I was like, we don't need him now because we got
Right.
Leroy.
Leroy.
That's
Leroy is
Just changed it. Like so many players were frustrated with this character. They're like, "Stop it!" But I was cheering because, like, yes, a black character at the top of the fighting game list. Let's go.
Yeah, you know what it is?
Leroy Smith.
Some white folks don't know that they racist. You know what I'm saying?
until
they don't
until that
know
privilege
it.
get taken away.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. It's like it's kind of like if you like a fish in water, you don't know that you wet because it's like all that you know. So if you
That's a
used
good
to
analogy.
just seeing yourself all the time, then all of a sudden, wait a minute, what's this black guy doing here? You know what I'm saying? And it just
Yeah.
don't sit right with you. People,
Mhm.
a lot of people don't know it. You know what I'm saying?